Mike Mentzer was an IFBB pro bodybuilder who competed in the 1970s and early 80s. He's best known for his heavy-duty training system. Mentzer was born on November 15, 1951 in Germantown, Pennsylvania. He was a talented student, and in 1975 attended the University of Maryland as a pre-med student. After 3 years he left the university, stating his ultimate goal was to become a psychiatrist. Mentzer started lifting weights at 12 years of age, weighing only 95 pounds. By 15 he was 165 pounds and benching 370. His early idol was Bill Pearl. Mentzer competed a total of 21 times, rarely placing out of the top 3 during that period. He suffered his worst defeat at the 1971 AAU Mr. America, placing 10th. However, it was at this contest that he met the winner, Casey Viator. It was to change the trajectory of his bodybuilding career. Viator introduced him to Arthur Jones, the inventor of Nautilus training machines and an advocate of high-intensity training, a short but incredibly brutal style of training, intended to expose the muscle to the most amount of intensity in the shortest possible time. Jones was hugely influential on Mentzer, who went on to base his heavy-duty training system on these high-intensity principles, and which he went on to use with great effect. Although he had many professional successes throughout the 1970s, the highlight of his career was certainly the 1979 Mr. Olympia, where he placed first in the heavyweight class with a perfect score, the first in Olympia history. The overall winner of that show was Frank Zane, his third Olympia in a row. His second place finish was to spur him on to train harder than ever for next year's event, the 1980 Mr. Olympia in Australia. It was the year that Arnold decided to make his comeback after 5 years of retirement, and it proved to be one of the most controversial contests in the competition's history. Arnold went on to win the contest with Mentzer placing 5th, a placing that Mentzer and many others were deeply unhappy about. The contest was also notable for Arnold and Mentzer almost coming to blows at the competitors' meeting after a heated argument, allegedly prompted by some typical Arnold smack talk. The contest was to prove pivotal for Mentzer, as the experience would prompt him to never compete again. Over the years he would continue to state that the competition was fixed. The years following the 1980 Olympia were turbulent for Mentzer, and around this time he had started to experiment with amphetamines to help increase his productivity, unaware that one of its possible side effects was acute psychosis. By 1985 Mentzer's world, through a series of personal and professional losses and continued amphetamine use, had begun to unravel, and eventually spin out of control. The next 5 years would see the former Mr. America and Mr. Universe committed to various psychiatric institutions. With his mental health issues seemingly unresolvable, the outlook was bleak for the former world-class bodybuilder. However, by 1990 things started to turn around for him. He had weaned himself off his drug dependency and started to re-establish his training business. The 1990s saw him re-emerge, phoenix-like, from the ashes of a 5-year destructive period, helped along by an association with Dorian Yates, who would become Mentzer's #1 heavy-duty disciple. By 2000 things were on the up and up for Mentzer, and the future seemed bright. On June 9, 2001, Mentzer finished up filming Mike Mentzer's HIIT exercise video with his friend Val Siegel. Later on they celebrated the finish of the video by going to dinner that same evening. Just a few hours later, Mentzer was found dead in his apartment by his brother Ray, apparently of heart complications. His brother died 2 days later of complications from Berger's disease. Mike Mentzer left an indelible mark on bodybuilding, one that still stands to this day. He encouraged people to think about their training methods rather than blindly following the latest trends. Mentzer was a fan of Ayn Rand, a deep thinker, talented writer and philosopher. He also happened to possess one of the greatest physiques ever.